Hi everyone, this is Elise from Plan with Elise and welcome to my channel. Today's video is highly requested and I hope I can do it justice. But for a couple of years now, as I've been sharing my planner and on Instagram, I've had a lot of questions about my sinking funds sheets. And so I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about sinking funds, what they are, how to utilize them, and if you wanted to, how to make a sheet in your planner about them. So, simply said, a sinking fund is a savings. It doesn't have to be an account, it's just a savings category, whether you put it in a cash envelope, you put it in a separate bank account. It's a savings category for a fund, for an expense that you know will be coming. So, there's a couple of examples. I think there's two really good examples that we're going to work with today. One of them is car repair. So your car may be in perfect shape right now, but tomorrow you could hit a pothole. Hopefully you don't, but car repair is something that's always going to come up. And so having a savings category in your budget is really important for that, so that when it does come up, and usually it's more expensive than, a tire fix, like for a pothole. It can be a couple $100, it can be a couple of $1,000, and having that padding in your budget for that will be you'll feel so much better when that time comes. So car repair is an example of something where you don't have a set amount, you don't know exactly what it will be, but just continuing to add it into your budget is going to be really helpful. And then the more fixed one that I can come up with, it's not on here, well, a membership, but Amazon. So let's say you have a Prime membership, and I think it changes, but last I checked, it was like $120 a year. I do know that they have a monthly option that some people do, but I think you can save a decent amount by doing it annually. So that's something where you know exactly how much you'll have to save, as opposed to car repair, where you may just not know, or you don't know how much you'll have to save. Other things on this list, and this is just a rough list, but there's plenty more, and I do have another video where I've talked about things to save for. I'll link it down below if I remember. But winter utilities, if you live in an area that has a lot of seasons, 4 specifically, like I do, let me just brighten this up, in New Jersey, winter utilities can get really high and you may not be prepared for them. So having some padding in your budget for that is really helpful. Like I said, car repair, car insurance, if you're someone who pays it quarterly or annually, this would be that too. If you tend to owe taxes, putting away money for your taxes is really helpful. Doctor and dentist, so those again are bills that you don't know when they'll come, but it's likely at some point they will. Holidays, of course, we know when those will come. Memberships, so that would be like Amazon, or maybe you have a Costco or Sam's Club membership. Fees and licenses, so my license renewal was in July, and even though it was only $25, I didn't have a sinking fund for it, but I had a line item in my budget for it. Kids' activities, whenever COVID ends, I know that while I don't have kids, sports and field trips and just things they may need tend to get expensive. Seasonal clothing, if you're someone who likes to switch out your wardrobe or get a new pair of boots in the winter, or new swimsuits, or again for kids, they're outgrowing their clothes, so they'll need more. Home repair is another example of something like car repair, where you don't know exactly when it will come, but it's likely it will, so a new hot water heater or something like that. If you have pets, vet bills, again, like medical, will come eventually. Giving, this goes along with my thoughtful category, where I like to have money aside in my budget for maybe if it's someone's birthday, or if I'm thinking of a friend, or maybe someone passed away and I want to send flowers or a fruit basket or something like that. Having a giving section is really great to have in your planner. So my top recommendation above all else when you're making a sinking funds list is don't go overboard. If you're just starting out, don't write down everything on this list. Pick the top few that are most important. So like now it's August. Holidays are a couple months away. If you haven't started saving for the holidays, now is probably a good time. And then important things like car repair or home repair, things like that. What I found when I first started, and what I see a lot of people do when they're starting out, is they try to think of every single possible thing they'll need to save for. And then two things happen. One, you get overwhelmed because there's way too many things to save for. And number two, you're not really making a dent in any of these sections. So if you're putting $10 in every one of these, yes, $10 is $10 more than you had saved the day before. But when something like this comes up, so let's say you were putting $10 away for 3 months, and then something happens to your car, then you only have $30. So prioritize for you what's the most important to have the money set aside for, and pad those in a little bit, and then start to trickle down to the other categories once you feel more comfortable with a savings budget. So, okay, this is an example sheet I made that I didn't end up using. It's for a wedding I had that is still happening, but I won't be staying in the hotel because of COVID. So here's one. I think I threw away all of my completed sheets, but here's an example where I made a sheet, and we're going to make one today, where every date I would put down what date it was, what the deposit amount I had, and my total balance. And then I had used a set of goal sheets, so I knew the total I wanted to save and the date I wanted to accomplish it by. And there was something else I wanted to say about that one, but I forget right now, I think, right? I'm not sure exactly what that was. So there are two different ways that I think it's helpful to make a sinking funds sheet in your planner. And I think today we're going to do the two that I mentioned. So one is car repair, where you may not know exactly how much you'll need, but it's likely that at some point you will need it. So I pulled out a couple of sticker books. I pulled out budget, goals, the older budget, which is mini, and the alphabet sticker book. So let me see here in goals. Looks like that sheet got cut off. Okay, I like this green, and I think there's a couple of calculator stickers in here. And of course you don't need a pretty planner page in order to set up your sinking funds, but it's nice to have. Okay, now first, what I'm going to do from this goal sheet is cut off the deadline sticker, because there isn't one, since this is just one of those running sinking funds and you don't exactly know when you'll need it. So like for that wedding, I had a deadline because there was a specific date that I needed it for. Okay, let's see. And these are half sheets from the Happy Planner. These are my favorite sheets. I use them every day. And then, I'm not sure exactly where I want to put this calculator yet, but, well, actually, I'm wondering if the sticker is good for this, because, let me see if I can pull this up. With that wedding fund, I knew exactly what the number was going to be, but for this, I wouldn't. So I think I just cut off that bottom part for no reason. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside. Let me think for a second. Did I throw out the remaining part of that sticker? No, I put it here. Okay, let's try this again. So for this big goal, we'll do the Amazon one first, because that's, I think, another good example of a sinking fund that a lot of people may have, or something similar to it, if not Amazon exactly. Okay, and the deadline, let's say it's March 30th, 2021. I may just have to write 21 there. Okay. Next up, I want to use Fun Alphabets to list out what this is savings for. Let's see. I know I've depleted a lot of the stickers in here. I have A, M, no, I don't have that. They were green, right? I think they were green in here. Yes, there are green. Okay, so at the top, I'm just going to take some stickers and put Amazon Prime. AMA, there's only one Z of this. Okay. Amazon. Maybe I'll just continue with these stickers here. Actually, I like these better. Whoops, that's another P. Let's see. So for this sheet, because this is a fixed cost and I know exactly how much it's going to be, I just ripped that M in half. Let me see here. When you start this, or we'll go down in a moment, but where the dates are going to be, will basically be when you've started it versus when it's due. So, okay, and then I think I'm just going to write renewal here for the sake of time. Also, the black looks nice. Okay, so what I've done in the past, actually I can show you my old Amazon renewal. I didn't end up filling it out. Oh, it's $119. I didn't end up filling it out because I think I've decided that I don't want to renew my Amazon membership this year. I don't use it nearly as much as I used to, and I think that because I'm a planner, if I plan ahead a little bit, I should be able to order things with the appropriate time frame to get them. We'll see. I have 3 more months to decide, and it may be beneficial for me to actually start saving in case I decide I want to, but I'm not entirely sure yet. So that's why I didn't use this, but I'm kind of making a similar sheet. So I drew this jar. I'm not a great artist at all. You don't have to draw a jar. If you want to, you can. Just seeing really quickly if I can find a pencil nearby that I can kind of show you how to do this on camera. I didn't really plan on doing it, but I guess now that I showed you that one, I sort of have to do it. So, okay. And with this, I kind of just, whoops, draw a line here and draw a line here, and then to do the dip of the jar, do a little curve, and that lip, see that's completely uneven, but I'll deal with it when I finish. And then I'm going to just curve up the edges here, and then just draw a couple of these, which will kind of be like the screw top for a mason jar, or really any jar, and then maybe just one more. Okay, so pretty ugly, not great at all. Maybe I kind of want to redo that. So let me see. It was way too big, if you see, compared to this one. Let me redo that. Okay, so I just made it much smaller. It's still not at all near perfect, but it works. It's fine for this. And then I'm taking out a Sharpie S-Gel, or S-Note, Sharpie S-Note, and I'm just gonna color these in a little bit. And it's not meant to look perfect or like a real jar or anything like that, but just adds a little pop of color and makes budgeting a little bit more fun. Okay, there we go. Let me put this away. So there's really just 3 things that you need for this, and one is a date, and then deposit, and a total. So let's say today you put in $20 and you'll write the date, you'll write that you put in 20 and then your balance is 20, and then the next time you'll write what you put in and then your balance is the deposits added up together. And then let's see here, I'm just gonna write save, just like I did for my other one. Okay, so we have, excuse me, the amount we want to save, the deadline, and then just a fun sheet to pop in your planner that you can keep track of. So when it comes to where to put the money and sort of how to do that, there's a couple of different ways. One is you could withdraw it and keep it in an envelope in a safe place. You could even put this on the envelope if you wanted to, but in a safe spot in your home. The other that I've seen people do is open up separate bank accounts for every sinking fund category. I think that would be way too confusing for me personally. So the way that I do it is I have 2 checking accounts. One is where my direct deposit comes in, and then another is where all my savings categories are. So once my direct deposit comes in, I would, let's say, transfer $20 for this over into my other checking account, and then I keep track of it all in a spreadsheet. I do that part electronically because there's changes made almost daily, and so it's cleaner and more organized to keep track. Plus, when you use Excel, you don't have to be good at math, and I'm not good at math, so that kind of takes the guesswork out of it for me, or the opportunity for mistakes. Okay, so the next one, and this isn't going to be as fancy, but it's still going to be applicable. So this one will be, I think, the car repair fund. So let's see if there's maybe a pink sticker like the other. Actually, I'm not going to need that because I don't really have an amount. So let me move my supplies over a little bit and see if there's a good budgeting kind of quote. It says, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. I like that. I also kind of like feed the pig first. Let me see. Those are pretty functional. And I have the other budget sticker book here too. Let's see. And go back to those calculators. Oh, there were more calculators. Okay, so there's a teal. I just want to see if any of these match. Let me put that, I think I still want to do the pink. Blue. All right, just pick something, Elise. Pick it, pick it, pick it. Okay, let's do this teal. And then there's a teal calculator here. So again, I want to put this just on the side up here. And then I think, actually, let me pause on putting down that calculator. And let's pull out, there should be teal stickers in here. I guess there's not. We just used the blue. Maybe I can use the dark blue for these. Sorry, I'm just trying to find these stickers. Okay. You know what, maybe we'll do pink with that teal sticker. So, I'm just gonna put in car. And you could write this, you could call this car repair, you could call it car maintenance, whatever works best for you. I think, because I'm not sure if I'll have enough room here, and I think this video is probably getting a little bit long, we're just going to call it car repair. I was also realizing I probably could have used journaling stickers that have the letters and I could have colored them in, but that's okay. Let me know in the comments if you have sinking funds and what they are, what you save for. I personally save for car repair, the holidays, specific birthday gifts, car repair. What else? Well, wedding stuff for a lot of friends getting married. Okay, that's a little bit crooked. It's okay. I started to write savings. This is really a sinking fund, but it's kind of the same thing. It is the same thing. Whoops, and I spelled savings wrong. Oh my goodness. Okay. Not the worst. I'm just going to cut another one of these sheets. And now I guess I can write sinking fund here. So let's see. Just kind of line that up and put it down. I'm just using adhesive tape. Oops. That's going to bother me later because that sticky is just going to keep getting in the way. Okay, let's see if I can line this up well. All right, yep, you never would have known. Just cut this off. Okay, so now I can write car repair sinking fund. I'm not going to draw the jar on this one because we did it on the last one, and this one I'm probably going to need more room for. Let's see if I can get that little sticky off there. Okay. And I did want to use a calculator here. I could put it, maybe we'll just offset it like that a little bit. Cut off the excess. Okay. So for something like a car repair fund where there's no specific end date in mind because you don't know when you're going to need it, we are going to write, let's see, we're going to write date, okay, and then you could write deposit or withdraw, you could write plus or minus, so you know, but let me see. I'm going to do plus minus because for the sake of space, we're just going to put the date that you added or withdrew and then just the icon of plus or minus and then amount, so how much you deposited or withdrew. And then balance. So if you're starting with $200 and you withdraw 80, then you'll be able to always look down here at the balance and know exactly what is left. And then at that point, once you withdraw, you should always be adding to it, but really as soon as you withdraw, you should always be adding to it. So these are the two sinking funds that we set up today. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, or you can always DM me on Instagram. I'm Plan with Elise. And also let me know what you're saving for. Thanks so much for joining. I would love if you took a moment to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.